welcome to another episode of the Immigrant Journey. And as usual, my name is Omi, and today I am joined with my co-host.
Hello everyone, Marina here. Always such a delight to have you here as always.
And today we have an amazing guest in the house. I will let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Mbuletiana Anishniana Reliable Ipnews, but I go by Hanita, shorter and easier to remember. So thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Thank you for giving us the short form. Otherwise, we're going to spend the rest of today trying to learn the proper way to pronounce your name.
Yeah.
Just
So,
out of
Hanita.
out of curiosity though, what does your name mean? Like all of it. What is
All
it?
of it, so like the Reliable, it's like from my family name, so yeah, that's like it doesn't have like a special meaning, just
Okay.
like family background. But like the first name and middle name, it has like some kind of meaning, like Mbuletiana, it's Tiana, it means like love, and
Oh.
Bula, it's like forever love.
Oh.
And
Oh.
Hanich, yeah, I guess like it's something like my parents, but love their love story. in the
forever
past,
love.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's something to do with
that's
that.
so sweet. Like I like those names that tell a story.
A story,
Like you can
yes.
trace it back.
Yeah, but I got Hanita from Hanichiniena, so Hanichiniena means like perfume of life.
Oh
So I got
wow.
that, yeah.
You
Now
have
I'm
a
curious.
beautiful
Like I'm going to
name.
learn how to say this name today. Like off camera though. So.
Yeah,
So why, I'm curious, why did you choose to go by the short form Hanita instead of Tiana? Because there's a
Tiana?
Tiana.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's
love
like me
Tiana. Yeah.
But the thing is, like my sister, she has like Mami Tiana,
Oh.
and my
So
other
Tiana's
sister.
already
Yeah,
taken.
yeah, take like she has it, and my I don't like I'm from like a family of like 3 sisters and 1 brother. We are 4, and my first like this like the eldest sibling, she has Tiana too. So
Oh, okay.
I don't want to. Okay.
Okay. I really want to hear about your parents' love story. If all their kids have Tiana in their names,
There's
it
a lot
has
of
to
love
be,
going
yeah,
on there.
there is a lot of love going on there. So let's bring it back home. Where are you from?
So I'm originally from Madagascar. I don't know if people know where it is, but you know,
Yes,
Africa. Okay, yeah, you know
Yes,
where it is,
yes.
but in case people doesn't know, so Africa, South Africa. So we are an island on the east of South
Mm.
Africa. Yeah.
So, tell me about why you chose to leave the beautiful island of Madagascar to come to Canada,
Oh,
and especially Saskatchewan, and experience the worst winter ever. Tell me,
Yeah.
what's the story of your immigration?
well, when you woke up like with name love, so it's for love that I moved here. So it's something to do with like love.
Oh.
Okay, you have to spill the entire tea, girl. Go ahead, we're listening.
I know, it's like, oh man, something to do with the name, going to the story, journey, immigration, and everything. But yeah, like in my family, my sister, I don't say I do have 2 sisters, but one live here in Canada. So she's been here like before me. She moved here in 2015, and I visit her in 2017. And on that time, I was on vacation, and I met someone.
You
on
met the
that time.
love of your
Yeah.
life. Oh
We were
my
dating
God.
at that time.
Like a movie script.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I like back home we watch this kind of soap opera.
Mhm.
So like, okay, I can make a soap opera of my life.
Yeah. This is like from the movies.
Yeah, but that's like the story. Like, oh, it like I moved here. Like that guy lived in Saskatoon. My sister lived in Calgary at that time, and now she's living in Airdrie. That we were like dating on that time, and then I went back home, and then the long distance relationship, all the drama, love but drama going on too. But then later on, like we get engaged, and that's why he moved here. That's why it's Saskatoon too, because he was originally born in Regina, lived in Moose Jaw, but then lived in Saskatoon. So that's why Saskatoon. Yeah.
So you moved to Canada for love.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a first. Like, for
Yeah.
our guests, like every other person was moving maybe for school or something.
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course,
no, this is
PR
such
or
a
for
nice
work.
balance.
Yeah.
I know.
And now we find somebody who came here for love.
Yeah.
So tell me, what has been the love story between you and Canada? How has life been since
it
moving
has
to
been?
Canada? The settlement and all of that.
Interesting. Very interesting. since like my immigration process has been like difficult, and there's like I know everybody has like their own way, like their own cases, but mine has been like difficult. I'm happy like now I made it here. I'm like permanent resident here. I live here. I moved here in 20 mid like by close to end of June 2021, so it's gonna be close to 3 years I've been here now. And yeah, I made here long immigration process, but then once I made it here I was happy. It was difficult, challenging, because the first time I got here in 2017 it was just for vacation, so you know you don't feel anything like vacation mode. I'm like, okay, I don't
Once
care.
you're done,
Yeah,
I'm going back to my country.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now once you're getting here, so like, okay, I'm gonna like, I know like during my immigration process you had that mind, okay, you're gonna settle there. It's not anymore the vacation mode, like how it's gonna be. Did some research and all of this kind of thing, but once you are here, what you had in mind is not what reality is. And it has been challenging, but I got some support. I'm like thankful. I see like there's still like those people around, like great community that is supporting me right now, and I hope will continue to support me.
Yes.
So yeah, that has been my journey. Still a learning process, but
Nice.
love, story, challenging, and yeah, here I am.
Yeah. So I want you to speak a bit about something that you just touched on, to say the reality was different. Like, we all, before you come here, you have a picture of what you think your life was going to be. In your case, it was a bit different because you had visited, right? And then, of course, the love story part. So maybe your impression was not built out of nothing, right?
Yeah.
But what would you say the major difference has been between the impression of the life you thought you were going to have in Canada versus the reality that it became when you moved here?
Yeah, so yeah, that's like a long. I'm gonna make it like I would try like to describe it, but like not like a whole book like through. So you know like back home like in Madagascar, when you talk about Canada, okay, everybody's mind is okay, it's like this kind of El Dorado. That you're like okay, you know, oh it's like oh yeah, you're gonna go to Canada, okay, yes, that's gonna be good. There's like a possibility, opportunity everywhere. There is that, but yeah, it's another level there. So once when I was like still back home, I had that in mind. Okay, I moved here like for love. I'm gonna have my family. I will have like a steady, good job, and you know this kind of thing, like being stable, and then, like yeah, didn't have like that. Like it's just like a. I have just like big picture, but I didn't see like this little details that you have like you live right once you are here. But once you are here, I guess. I did my effort, like the first challenge I had is like the language barrier, because English, I'm here in the Anglophone side, so English is my third language. I speak Malagasy, then we are like French colony, so then after we speak French, and then I'm trying to speak English, so that was like the first barrier. I'm still learning every day. I'm in a mixed couple, so we speak English, so
So he forces you to speak English.
No, it's not forced. But I live like if I go to jail, like to my work, people speak English too. So I need like to learn and he's helping me like with that, and I'm like. There's like this kind of settlement organization, government funded too, who keep like providing some course like help on that barrier that I had. And after that too, the reality here in Canada is like when you go like a job, because when we speak, you need like get the job then.
The elephant in the room.
So the reality, what I was thinking when I was back home, I didn't really see that only when I hear, because like, you know, even just like that concept when you apply on our job application, even like online, everything, the first thing that like catch my attention is like there's like disclosure that you have to tell about your ethnicity. Back home, like when you apply for a job, you don't have that kind of like disclosure. Yeah, here you do have that, and that's one thing. And another thing is you know, I have my background of like what work I did, my schooling experience, like what I did there, but here you have to like first like you have to assess your degree. Even I have a doctorate credential. Even I have like a master or a PhD. So here, once you get here, you may not land into like the area what you study and this kind of thing. So
true.
yeah, so that was the reality that I saw too. So I learned it in the hard way.
Oh, girl, you're speaking our language, like everybody's reality. We all had to at some point come to terms with the fact that the picture we had built in our heads was very different from the reality on ground. So, but what has the adjustment been like though? Like, how have you then now been able to adjust to this new reality on ground? Like when it comes to like you've talked about the language, you're learning the language, which is great, by the way, you're doing amazing. You know? And then the other areas like the self-identifying, I think that's what that's called when you're applying for jobs. Does it still shock you when you apply for jobs and you have to declare that part?
Like seriously, it does. Like at the beginning, I was so mad. Like, why do I have to disclose? I know, like, but in my mind, it's like, this is already like some kind of barrier that people put out there. Like, even like I have like a nice resume and everything experience. Like, but if they put this in some case, like I don't know what's the company policy. Like some case, like they're like they are like supportive, like inclusive or something. Maybe like it's good on my beneficial on my favor. But how if like that is like already like
you're not sure.
like it's already okay. Like even you have the so it disclose no. So
It's like, I can totally understand how that can be perceived from the angle of the job seeker. I'm not wearing my recruiter hat today, I promise you. You know, but I'm looking at it here. I work
so she's here to defend them.
No,
they are the ones. They are the ones.
So you know how I think the self-identification thing, it seems like it's a federal thing to make sure that those minority groups are adequately represented in the workforce. Yeah. So on the surface, it looks like a good thing.
Yeah, that's.
But then I can totally see how it will scare the person on the other end, self-identifying, not knowing that even though this looks like you're trying to tell me that you want the workforce to be adequately represented, is this going to be a factor that will screen me out?
So you don't.
I can totally understand.
And sometimes also it's. You don't understand the bias that the hiring manager or the recruiter has, right? It's one thing for the organizational policy to say we want to have diversity or we want to be representative of the diverse ethnic groups or cultural groups in Canada. But then it's up to the recruiter or the hiring manager to actually walk the talk. But then if they already have a bias against this group of people, say I'm identifying as a black person and this person already has a bias for whatever reason, maybe because for whatever reason, good, bad, whatever, it could play against me as well. But something I tell people most times is my resume already shows that I don't have a Canadian cultural background. Because the moment you see my name, you know,
that's like
this person is not a Caucasian, is not a white person. The moment you go down my resume and you look at my work experience, you see that some of my experiences are not in Canada, so you know for sure that maybe some of my education is not in Canada as well. So it's. At the end of the day, it's like 50-50. You're taking a chance on it, right? Because you don't know how it might work against you or it will work for you. Sadly, that is our reality.
And sometimes you're learning.
Well, learning still. I mean, I have culture shocks every day. Like I've been here 8 years. I've lived in Saskatoon 8 years, and guys, I have to share this one. The most recent culture shock that I faced. I went into a store. I wanted to buy a pot. The pot had its price. The cover was priced separately.
That's like
I could not for the life of me understand why.
How do I buy a pot without the cover?
Show me the person who walks into the store and buys only the cover and walks away. Show me that person.
I know.
Just put the two together, merge the prices, and tell me one price. The cover of the pot was priced separate.
Talking about that, I remember when we first came to Canada and I went shopping for pots. And I saw 5-piece set.
They counted the covers, right?
Yes. And I opened it. You know, I actually brought it home. I brought it home, opened it, and I'm like, where are the remaining 2 pots? How come I'm seeing only 3 pots here? It had 2 pots, 2 covers, and one extra pan.
Things,
yeah. And I'm like, this thing is missing 2 pots. I actually took it back to the store. Like, I bought a 5-piece set, and I can only find 3-piece here.
Yeah.
And they opened it. No, this is.
You counted the
cover.
Like, I use that to do what exactly?
Who buys pots without the cover? And who buys
know.
only covers, right?
So yes, just to let you
We're
know that
still
we're all still
learning.
experiencing different culture shocks.
Right.
It can be as serious as work and it can be as simple as a pot. But yeah, every day.
Learning. Trying to adapt myself because it's like sometimes like shocking. I'm like, yeah, I'm in mixed culture couple, so he is learning my culture, I'm learning his culture, and then sometimes I ask like this guy, oh gosh, I'm like, you know, I'm like,
And you know, the thing I find is, like, okay, I started taking my master's in intercultural and international communication. And a lot of times we talk about different cultures, being that Canada is a multicultural country. One question I keep asking my professors and even my classmates is, what exactly is the Canadian culture? Who created the Canadian? If we're a multicultural society, is the Canadian culture the indigenous culture? Or is the Canadian culture the British culture? Or the American? What exactly
that's like what
is
I
the
was
Canadian
asking.
culture?
Yeah.
And funny enough, I have 3 different people in my class that are born in Canada. We could say they are originally Canadians. And when you ask them about Canadian culture, they both say different things. So do we actually, do we actually have anything called the Canadian culture?
Yeah.
So when you say you're learning his culture, he's learning your culture, I'm like, okay.
I'm learning.
What culture exactly are you learning? What's the Canadian culture?
I think at the end of the day, it comes back to the interpretation that each family gives it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we tie culture to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Because
there's
even
some
going
own-
back to me, I'm originally Nigerian.
Mhm.
When you say the Nigerian culture,
It's
what
like
exactly are we
Nigerian,
referring
yeah,
to?
like
Which part of
everyone.
the country
Yeah.
constitutes the Nigerian
Yes.
culture? Just seeing how diverse we are as a people. So at the end of the day, I think it comes down to
Like,
the family,
yeah.
the primary
Yes.
units where
Are
you're
you
growing
belong
up.
to?
That's
So what your partner will be teaching you will
like
be
he's
what was
like
handed
what he
down
grew up
in
with.
their own
Grandparent,
family.
yeah.
And that's what you are handing
Like,
down as well.
same,
Like
yeah.
what the interpretation is in your own family. So
That's like,
Yeah.
but that question got me thinking though, what exactly is the Canadian
I
culture?
have
I'm going to
asked
think
that.
about it for
Like
so
each
long
time
now.
we talk about culture, everybody looks at me like she's gonna ask like, what's the Canadian culture? Yeah, I just had to say that. So going back, when you look at, you talked about some of the challenges you faced coming to Canada.
that was part, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
there's
a long
no-
story about like those are the main
the main one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like if we go into the details, we're gonna have like 2 days.
the whole day. Tell me about it. So you've talked about part of that. So I'm wondering, if you look at your life since you came to Canada, if you were, say today, just coming to Canada newly as a newcomer, is there anything you do differently? Is there something you think you've done in the course of your journey in Canada that you think, if I'm new to Canada, I would stop, I won't do these things, or I will do these things differently, or I'll do this instead?
Well, for that one, like everyone has their own experience. Like even what I did some research even before coming here before telling this. Like but even once you're here, every situation is always like different. Like it's unique. My experience is unique to myself. But once like when I was a newcomer here, as I said, like my immigration process has been long and expensive and everything. So my situation, like my own situation, once you get here, okay, you have like those expenses that you have like to cover, like in the past, you're getting settled here. So yeah, luckily like my husband right now, like he was already like in a house, but if I was like just me, like you have my house, like the transportation and all of that, like that would be like different situation of what I would live to.
Yes.
But still, like on that position, I was like trying, because I was like, I'm not on vacation, I'm here to live, to settle. I have to set myself in the ground, like to get the, you know, like I was in those kind of position. I will do differently, like do not put pressure too much on myself, because I was like in that state of mood, like okay, I have to find a job right away, like I have to help at this and expand. I have to get myself like in a hurry to be like, okay, I'm here, I can follow the mode, I can adapt myself quickly and this bit. But if I was like newcomer, like I would just say like, okay, don't be too hard on yourself. Things can take time, process can take time, because even like at this kind of time of my past, I was getting emotional too, because like okay, like the hope, the dream that okay, get here, you put pressure too much on yourself, and you have like, if I don't get it, it's like, oh no, so that would like advise him like I would do differently, like just not to be too hard. It will come, it will meant to be, it will and just takes time. There's all this, I like, as I said, this settlement like organization, association, they did help me a lot, like get myself settled here. So
like that's such a nice reminder, especially for the people who are in their newcomer phase, like still trying to settle. Maybe that's something that you can take away from this. Is be gracious with yourself, like, especially for the things that are outside your immediate control. For those things that you don't have any control over, be gracious with yourself. Like, be able to laugh at yourself. Be able to just take that step back and celebrate your small wins. It might not be the exact outcome that you want where you want it. But celebrate the small steps and be gracious with yourself. The winter is already hard enough. Be gracious with yourself.
Yes, I tell people, enjoy the journey.
Enjoy it. Like,
it's enjoy it. When you're in it might be difficult, especially when you see other people doing well, and it seemed like, oh, they just came in less than 3 months. They got their dream job. In 1 year, they bought their house. Oh, they got a car. Oh, and I haven't been able to do anything for myself. It's just reminding yourself that everybody's journey is different. And like my dad would always say, comparison is a thief of joy.
And once you get here, you get into that trap, like to compare that, like,
don't compare your journey with any other person's journey. Absolutely. I love when you talked about, especially when you even said at the beginning that everybody's journey is different, and because of, by virtue of the way you came to Canada, there are certain things that some people will experience, like you said, housing, how to get around and all that you didn't have to deal with. But some people had to deal with that. It's just understanding that your journey is different from other people's journey, but it doesn't invalidate your experience as well. Absolutely. The fact that you came to meet your partner here and he had some things set up for you, it doesn't mean you didn't have your struggles. Like you said, you had your challenges and you found a way to navigate those challenges to get to where you are right now in your journey. Interesting.
So we've talked about all the things that we don't like, all the things we wish were better, like PS, self, pot and cover together. Just saying.
I still have like, oh my, like, okay, when you say like a challenge or everything, I have a lot like taxes. Like,
you don't even get
like, I'm not going into the politics. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh.
Not with me going to my accounts person at my first job to say, what happened to my salary?
That's like, I call
what happened to my salary?
It's like, I'm working so
This is not what I was expecting. This is like 40% less than I was expecting.
I feel like I opened a can of worms there. I am that employee who would email payroll in every new organization saying, no, there had to be a mistake. But no, it was taxes. So yes, we're talking about all the things that are not our favorite things. So coming back to the things that we love, right? You're already a walking love story.
You love your love.
Other than your love story. what would you say is something else that you absolutely love about Canada, about Saskatchewan, about Saskatoon, about your life here?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I guess like there's challenge, but I say you have to enjoy this like journey. There's always like even like it's hard time. You just laugh about it because like those hard time makes it like enjoyable the journey. Yeah. But let's say like love. So what I love about Canada is like it's big. As I say, it's very each city is very different. So it's like I had the chance to visit some of the Vancouver or some of the city, and it's all every time different. It's very marked culture. I like the way but okay, I want to say the weather here. Like back home, we just have 2 seasons. Here, I can experience what I can say 4 seasons. Yeah. So like we don't have fall. Like back home, you just have like winter and summer. But winter is like let's say spring or weather here. But here I can like see like
a
breath. Like okay, it's changing. Like okay, summer to fall, and this color is like
okay, that's true.
It's like so nice. Like,
even though
if only the season could not be exactly 3 months. Can winter just
stick to the timeline?
Yeah.
Like your mate.
Winter has no boundaries. Zero boundaries.
No respect
at all. How can winter be 6 months? Come on.
It's like half of the year you're like okay, getting into that. So first like my first the first time I like see, so it was so nice. But like my first Saskatchewan like winter experience, I cried.
Yeah.
I cried.
Saskatchewan winter is the ultimate baptism of fire.
Okay. But that's like the weather trend and the wind too. Oh my! Even today. Blowing like my hair. But you know, that's like the weather side, like the dryness and the extreme. Everything is extreme, like from extreme cold, extreme
heat, and extreme wind.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Like when summer comes, we get into those extremely hot days.
Yeah. And it's like the beginning of our spring here. Like we just get out of like the extreme cold, and when summer is coming, so okay, it's like smoke season because everything is burning. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm very so little like to like just like break that you just stop, and it's like okay, you're like smoke. But like okay, this is interesting. So that's like the weather, but like as I said, there was like different cities, like different culture. Like Toronto is very multicultural. I like the how to say the landscape, or Vancouver because you have like the mountain, the city, and the beach at the same time. But Toronto, the vibe is like so nice and cool, and Montreal I'm gonna visit like next too. So I know
you get the experience. You get to speak your French.
So like this kind of thing. But Saskatoon is like we are in the prairie. I know it's like sometimes like people doesn't like it, but sometimes it's good experience to live it. Like this is the prairie. It's prairie.
Why did you have to give me that smile?
I'm just trying to compare.
Say what's on your mind.
The experience, how she described Vancouver, how she described Toronto. Some people may not like it.
It's the prairies. It's the prairies.
Well, let me give you something about the prairies that you can love. The sky is blue, like our sky. Like honestly,
what called the land of the living skies for a reason?
That's one thing I absolutely adore about Saskatoon. Like it's the skies during the summer.
It's the living skies, they call it.
It's unreal. Like sometimes when I take pictures, it's almost like the sky is a filter. Like this can't be real.
Yeah, the sky is it's beautiful.
So that's something that we can remember.
And the thing is, even in winter, it's beautifully sunny in winter as well. Like you don't want to see the gloomy winter of all the other places. You don't want to see the gloomy.
I'm just used
to
sun that is hot. That's actually hot. Because how can the temperature be -30 and the sun is out? I can't relate. Like if you want to be hot, be hot.
There was a time.
Go away.
There was a time I did a video call with my mom, and I was backing the window. So and she's like, "Oh, it was in winter. It's sunny there." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's sunny." She's like, "Why not go for a walk? You've been indoor all day." She's like, "Yeah." Like, if only you know how cold it is. Oh, it can't be that cold. It's so beautifully sunny out there. I can't say. Don't even get me started. So,
but Oye, what do you like about Canada though? I don't think I've ever put you on the spot here. You're trying
what do I like about
what
Canada?
What do you love? Going by the same question.
What do I love?
You've been here
Canada?
so long. Why are you thinking that hard?
I think for me it's the system.
Yeah.
Which
I
part?
love the fact that you want to do something, you know exactly what to do, and
Yes.
it's so easy. You know, for instance, you want to get your international passport, you know exactly what to do. You do it online, you get it done. The time it's supposed to get here.
It's
it
very
gets here.
predictable.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that predictability of the system and being able to work. If you're in school also, you know that
There's
this is
like-
when I'm going to graduate and you graduate at that time. So it's easier for you to plan your life
I
around
agree.
those systems.
I
Yeah.
totally agree.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's
one
like
thing I
really, really good.
absolutely love about Canada
Yeah.
as a whole. I also love how different, like she said, each city, each province is. So you can actually properly vacation. Yeah, you can properly
Yeah.
vacation within Canada, not
yeah.
have to go out, even though it's annoyingly expensive. But then that's a story for
can.
another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that about Canada as well. I can
Yeah.
take a road trip to Edmonton or
And it's
Calgary
like-
or
and it's a
somewhere.
different
And
experience.
it's a different
Yeah,
experience.
it's like, yeah,
yes.
I love it. But when you talk about like a system, yeah, that's one of the things, like beside of like the atmosphere and everything, like people like this, people there's like it's everywhere. There's like the racism thing, but there's like nice, good people like that are really very supportive here. That's good thing. Like I had the chance to meet like encounter and friend with this kind of people who are like very inclusive. So I'm happy for that. There's always the it's happening.
Of course,
everywhere.
please say.
But yeah.
We have that part.
Yeah,
we know.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
everywhere. But like that's like good thing. Like there's people open-minded here too, and like when you talk about system, there too, like here, that's the thing that we had in mind. Like since I was back, or like that can be possible. Like there's opportunity that happen here. Like as you say, if people want to like apply for their like work permit, if they can, it's
Yeah.
possible. If they can do like school study, it's possible. And it's not just like related to that. For myself, like I since I like moved here, I did different kind of job, and like now I'm like in the way to get into the city. So I'm happy for that. I have like a very what to say, because when I started it's very labor, so now I can say that it's more like what to say, like it's not anymore the labor, but like like I did like office background, so now I can like do not really in the area that I studied, but it's getting closer.
Progress.
In progress. But beside that, like you know, I have my business here too, and
we're gonna talk about
yeah,
our
and
business.
I'm doing like something that I've never done in the past. So like talking about possibility or opportunity, I'm doing modeling too. So it's like yeah. So yeah, you know, like this like. Back home we do have that, and you know, back home you don't think about it like making a career or anything, because it's like not really like open, or like there's opportunity same as once you're here, but once here I do that, so you know there's possibility, there's opportunity. Yeah, it's not maybe like not like big thing like but there's like always
still,
something.
Yeah. So you briefly talked about your business.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
What was the inspiration between, what did you call it again? House of
like my company is,
yeah,
the business name is Red Island Extract.
Red Island Extract.
Yeah.
What was the motivation behind it, and what is the business about?
Okay, so when I moved here, like, I didn't think about creating, like making a business at all. Like seriously, let's be honest. Like I moved here for love, so like I'm just like happy family in the picture in my van. Like not all the challenge or everything, but really happy family. But once you're here, you know, like all the challenge that I got, like in the past, like finding like a steady job. That's the more steady job, I guess. Yeah. Steady job, and I had to do work that I have to do. Like I don't like diminish any kind of position. Like every job is like important, but you know, like
but
you just
not what you want for yourself.
So like when I came here, I didn't think about doing that, but like with the need, like what's the situation, so you have to do it. And just when I moved here, so you know, I'm a bit homesick sometimes, and talking about like difference, so like I had to adapt like the food and it's different. Like I miss like the taste of home and one of these two towns and like I moved here in 2021. My mom like when I moved here she's like give me some, because my business is related to food ingredient. So she she asked me like, okay, bring this to your in-law family and you have like some kind that when you cook at home, so like you can have the taste of home. Like this is what I have to taste there. Like Madagascar is well known for like Madagascar vanilla and the spices. So that's what my business is related to. So that's what we are proud of. Like so she said bring it there and have it. Like share it with the family. And then like me and my partner, he loves cooking. Like he cooks. Like I cook, but I know like the traditional way of what we make in back home. But he likes exploring, like tasting all of this kind of color culinary thing that he does. And I was like doing on my child hunt and everything. And then one time we had like my vanilla from my family and like the spices and. Then it was like, oh, we try like to make something, and that's how like everything, like experimentation, like started everything. But then like behind too, like because it's passion too. But for me, I know like it's like okay, I'm gonna do this for you, but I'm thinking of back home too. Like I'm going like thinking something like that I represent, like as like Madagascar. I wanna share with my community here. And something that I can like help to like support my family while farther, and we work with some group of local farmers too. So I can like support like my family. It's not just like I came here, I had an opportunity, I guess. So like why cannot like help like this kind of people who doesn't have like the opportunity? Will they really like do the process like through like their immigration process to do it can be hard, but when I'm here, why not? I can give a hand, to do something. So I'm just like we started at the farmer market, and then what we make is like the best unique Madagascar vanilla extract and paste, and we like make this gourmet spices too. So we started at the farmer market, and we try to share with the community. I didn't want to like bring something with what we know like back home is like vanilla, but like I want to bring something nice, organic, that like here. Something that I was shocked to when I moved here is like it's so common that people talk about like their health issue that has surgery or this or that. Back home we don't have that. And one of the issue that I saw though is like because that happened because of the thing that we eat. Everything is processed, not organic or anything. So I'm trying like to make something like I guess for us or back home and everything, but for the community too. So that's everything.
Yeah, I can't wait to try.
Yeah. I use her vanilla, your vanilla, and
oh, thank you.
I love it. I use it for my zobo hibiscus drink. I love it.
I'm so glad.
Thank you for blessing my community with that.
You totally have to hook me up with that. Like I like to try. I like to explore. And then just listening to you talk about it and how excited you are, like your eyes literally lighting up talking about it. So yeah, that's definitely something I'd love to do.
It was a hard work and still like but like I guess like when you talk about you love it and someone who's interested that like lighting in my head, I move here, I can bring something at least that like your day or like your family with me. Then I'm like, I was part of that.
And I love when you
fulfilling
it
thoughts.
is. And I love when you talk about you wanting to represent where you're coming from, bringing something from where you're coming from to benefit this community as well. I think that's all of us can do that. There's usually something from where we're coming from that can benefit the local community. And that's really what multiculturalism is all about.
I was just thinking about that. That's actually the true Canadian culture.
Yes.
It's the melting pot of the different backgrounds and the breadth of experiences that represent our population.
English.
That's what
the melting pot of
of the breadth of experiences and backgrounds that
you
make
should
up
be a
our
poet.
population.
Not at all.
No, but seriously, I was just thinking about it as you said it. Like that's why we can't pinpoint one. That this is Canadian culture because it's a merger of many different
things. It is.
Yeah, but it's just as we say that Canadian culture is a merger of different things. I still don't understand why newcomers will come to Canada and go to settlement agencies and they're like, oh, we're going to teach you how to navigate the Canadian culture. And then I remember when I just came to Canada, I attended one of those programs, and what things they were saying were like, oh, when you shake at a workplace or a professional setting, when you shake somebody, give a study firm handshake, look them in the eye, and I'm like, who says looking people in the eye is a Canadian culture?
Yeah.
From where I'm coming from, you don't look at people who are
elders.
Yeah, it's like
it's disrespectful. So why would you force me to? If we're saying, let's not. That's not what this is about.
It's a touchy subject here on the couch.
Let's just not talk about that right now. So you talk about your business and you trying to get back to your office work and all of that, but you also talk about modeling.
Yeah, I do that. I never. Seriously, if somebody would have taught me that, tell me like when I was in Madagascar, but I would be modeling in Canada. I'm like, okay, you see, and especially in Saskatchewan, I'm like, okay,
really?
Where did you get
got
that?
the body girl for a model.
I'm looking at you and I'm wondering, what are you talking
got
about?
the body.
Model Pro Max.
Yeah. Model Pro Max.
But how did you stumble in though? Like, was that where you were going?
Yeah.
Curious.
How did you get started with?
Okay, so for that too, nothing like planned everything, but like one time me and my partner we went to to have just a brunch on a Sunday at Remy Modern. I love that place, like that gallery.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and I love the river, like the river landing. That's like my spot every time. It's so beautiful.
Too.
But anyways, we had like a brunch there. Like we walk around, we went to the gallery and then like had a brunch there. But when we like visit around there was like that. I don't know if you know Masala, Model and Talent.
I know her.
Paola and Jasmine.
Yeah.
They were like doing some photo shoot there around that time, and you know, like Paola, she saw me and I was like, okay, but for me, I just walk around. I'm like, okay, I didn't notice everything. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. But it was my partner like who told me, like he caught a eye that, oh, maybe look, Paola on that time I didn't know her name, but she said like. She didn't like tell me that because you know sometimes I'm like, I know you're silly, no, that won't happen. But like he tried like so he's like, okay, I'm going to the bathroom, like trying like on that level where they are, so I can like look around, and then like when he was at the bathroom, Paula went at the bathroom. I was at the bathroom and I met Paula at the bathroom too. And then on that time we had like that little touch, but I didn't really catch it on that time. So she asked me if I live in Saskatchewan and everything, and like. I was like still new and like yeah I do, and I was still so shy and everything. And Ryan was in like the men's bathroom, he could hear, but then we were just like brief conversation we had, and then we just left. I was like still scared of everything because they were in their shoot. I was like, okay, I was impressed and everything. Like, yeah. And then she's like, we're doing some shoot and everything, and she didn't express like I didn't get it, I think, because Ryan in the main bathroom, like you got it like she's asking you, but
she's
like
asking you to come and be a model.
Yeah, but then like but I still didn't get it, so we had like a little coffee at the restaurant downstairs, and then they were still like taking shoot like out there. So I did like Ryan, my partner name is Ryan, so he still told him like okay, you didn't get it, Hanita? Like they were like so like are you sure that they were saying? And like she said yeah, he said yeah. So like I went to Poland and we had a conversation, and that's how I got into it. And, yeah, they do have like a great agency. They do have like not just model talent, acting, everything, and then they do provide like some kind of coaching too. So
yeah, Paula she's an amazing person. I know her personally. That's interesting. I'm happy for you. Look at you found your modeling calling.
Oh my god.
Well, Paula turns young women into like she does magic with how
she does. Like seriously, like when we have this show like catwalk or like even like a photo shoot and everything, I send it to my family back home. Sometimes like my mom is like, what? Really?
Is that really you?
Is that you? Whoa! My grandma is like, oh, I love that red dress that you are wearing. I'm like, oh yes, grandma.
Were you on the runway for Black History Month?
I was.
That's where we met.
Yeah,
I was on the runway.
Oh look at them.
And I was like,
They left me from the modeling.
I was like,
I think that's where we met. I was on the runway. Like I did a sneak in, sneak out kind of appearance. I'm coming back, Masala, just saying. But that's interesting. So in wrapping the conversation up, if you could say something to somebody who's a newcomer to Canada, to wherever it is they've landed in Saskatchewan, if you could give any form of advice to somebody who's a newcomer in Canada, what would you tell them?
Like, I won't find the right word to say, but like I say, like, don't be too hard on yourself. Just do your best. Like, everybody has their own opinion of what's right or wrong or not. Like, even my own experience, like how we get married and everything. Like, I didn't do it like in the conventional way. Like, we do have our tradition. We are gonna, Mom. I'm just like saying still like if she's listening to it or like watching the podcast, like like we are gonna do like the formal tradition of wedding and everything, but what I'm trying to say is like
Mom, we have evidence, she said it.
She's gonna do it.
She would do it.
But my mom is like when I'm moving to Canada, like she's very supportive. Like she's like, okay, if you love it, go for it. So like if you move into Canada, it's your choice. Nobody forced you. Like, okay, like you go to Canada. Like the reality can be different to the expectation. But just don't be too hard on yourself. Do your best. Be your best. Laugh on the way. Please don't be don't be dead serious about everything.
Serious.
Just like do your best. There's like people, community supportive here who can give you a hand. I know it's scary, but you can do it. It's your own journey. Like. What you make here, you're gonna be like the first generation like immigrant here, but you wanna leave some legacy to like when your kids are after. So just do your best, be good, smile, enjoy the journey. It's alright. There's up and down, so just enjoy it.
Yes,
that's what I would say.
That's such an amazing reminder. Like I've never thought about it like that. Like you are first generation. What's going to be the legacy you're handing down?
Behind.
Wow,
I'm trying my best every day. Like I like my mom was like, don't forget where you're from, and please don't forget where you are from. Yeah. So like,
don't be in a hurry to adopt the accents that's not your own. Like,
oh my god.
I just have to say
that. She had to say that. Please.
Don't be in a hurry, because when you force that accent, it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. Like when you don't show up as your authentic self, it shows. And trust me, it can be a turn off. It can be a turn off. Maybe for some people, it's the confusion and the miscommunication that they think, oh, I have to sound like this to be accepted. Actually, no. Says who, right? Says who. So your authentic self is always going to be authentic to you, no matter how much you try to be who you're not. You're not going to be who you're not, and you will forget who you truly like. It's like a lose-lose situation when you do that. Like in the name of trying to fit
people
in,
don't
you forget the
accept you
essence of
fully
who you are.
when you
exactly. Your authentic
become
self,
who you're not.
Yeah,
so
your authentic self is the one that you can do well. Hold on to it and don't be in a hurry. Like when I see that, like I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, I've been in Canada 2 years. I'm like, where's your Nigerian accent? Or where's your 2 years is let's be realistic. You are a full-grown adult. You cannot lose your accent for 2 years. For kids, I'm talking, yeah. But for adults,
week they're losing their accent.
Yeah. For even TV shows, children can lose their accent from watching TV.
Exactly.
But for a full-grown adult, I don't get how your accent has changed in 2 years. Like how? I've been here 8 years. I'm still searching for my Canadian accent.
Send help. Please, when do you buy Canadian accents? I need to buy a Canadian accent for myself. Because I ain't never gonna have it with this.
At this rate, there's no hope. I give up.
Thank you so much, Hanita,
so nice.
for coming on the show and sharing your life, your journey with us. It's been so nice to have you on the show. One key takeaway for me is, which you hammered over and over and over again, don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace in this journey. Everybody's journey is different. Don't compare your journey to anyone else, but give yourself grace and enjoy the journey as you go along the way. For you, what was the key takeaway?
That And then I would say something else that really got me thinking is one of the things you just said about you being first generation. Like my parents didn't come here. I am the one who brought my children here. So are they going to wake up one day and say this was a bad move? Like our parents made a bad choice?
Yeah.
Or would they look and say, we're thankful that our parents went through what they went through so that the road can be easier for us? So it just really got me thinking to say, whatever you're doing right now, you are paving the way for your next generation. So you want to make sure that you're making the right choices, just so that our children don't suffer the exact things we're suffering because you made bad choices. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing, think about it from the angle of I'm paving the way for the next generation. Is it going to be are they going to wake up and look at this and understand the struggle and say thank you for doing that? Or is it going to be a case of this was a bad move?
You should have just left us in Nigeria.
Should have left us.
Anytime,
when we moved here newly, maybe a couple of years ago, my son got angry. He would say, "I'm moving back." And carry his Teletubby and his Paw Patrol and say, "I'm moving back home at 3." I'm like, you can't even get out the door. Come back here, my friend. But hopefully it doesn't get to the point where he's actually old enough and he can get a hold of his passport and say, I'm actually moving back. I mean, if they're going to move back, it's going to be because out of curiosity, not because I made bad choices.
Yes, that's true.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been so nice having you here. And we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Immigrant Journey. Until we come your way with another amazing guest next time.
Doodles! Bye!
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.